manager was easy. Well, that's absolutely not true. And what I'm actually going to tell you over the next 20 minutes on how I built a business around a 70-hour working job and absolutely no time. So prior to starting Forever Living, as you can see on the screen there, your top left, but I was a sports rehabilitator and I had my own business straight out of university. I knew that's what I wanted to do, be my own boss. And the investments I put into that was £35,000 through training, overhead bills, equipment. What I didn't realise was how much that was going to drain me and drain my bank account as well. So I had to work 3 other jobs around that. I was working every single morning as a personal trainer, every single evening as a fitness class instructor. I was also working at the weekends doing 24-hour shift in an admin job. So to say I had no time was an understatement. That had to change. I had no time. Most of us get stuck on that hamster wheel of not having no time with family, maybe spending more time at work with your boss, or maybe on the road commuting. And I didn't want that. I didn't want my life to just be work, work, work until I retired. So that change had to come. And I knew full well it was going to get harder before it got easier. So I got to work. I got told to be successful, you had to be, or more than average, you had to be at every success day. You had to support your local business presentations. You had to engage your mentors and try and be at everything you can. So that's what I did. Around a 70-hour working week, I made sure I was at everything. And I always say, where there's a will, there's a way. If you truly want to make this business work, you'll be at as much as you can, and you'll make a success out of it. Most people, like I said, get on that hamster wheel, have been overpaid and underworked. And it comes to the time, and that time is different for everyone, where they feel that they have to make that change. And they have to make a change in their lifestyle to make that more time back in future. So for me, my journey did go quick. I got to the manager position in just 5 months, and that gave me a full-time income and allowed me to drop all of the part-time hours alongside the rehabilitation centre. Then I got to soaring manager in 20 months. That gave me a 6-figure income and the lifestyle of my dreams. And I think people seeing that maybe think it comes easy. Maybe for some people it works and for other people it doesn't. And I think people miss the reality of what goes on behind the scenes. Because my God, did I work to get to that position? Am I still working as hard as I possibly can now? Yes, I am. And I think it's just bringing it back down and having a look at how hard you may need to work to attach that to your goals. So whatever your goals are, we need to now fix that to how hard you need to work and get that correlation back. So it's knowing what your goals will take. Everybody's goals are different. I might have had to work, getting up early, going bed at late for my goals. But your goals might be different, so you need to kind of think where you want ahead with yours. So a couple of honesty questions here now. So get your pads out, 'cause I want you to write this down. Make sure you've got a pen. How many hours of income generating activity did you do last week? And I think Caroline mentioned it before, it's not scrolling around on Facebook, it's not doing your admin work. Obviously that's all stuff we need to do, but that's not income generating. So have a look, is it maybe 2, 3 hours that you put in last week? Being realistic, 4, 5? So my second question, once you've got that figure, is for those hours and the skill level you have at the moment, what would you pay yourself? If you was an employer and you had a staff member who did those hours on the skill level, what would you pay that person? So write that figure down. I want you to circle it, and is that the reality of what you're working towards? And that might show you and kind of open your eyes on how hard you need to work, how many more hours you need to find from sacrificing the TV and not going out on as many social events. And hopefully it can see going forward how many hours now you need to put in to achieve the figure that you want in your bank account. And firstly for me, it starts with personal development. It has to be number one on my top tips. Personal development and this business starts with you. However your business looks at the moment, that is down to you and the person you are at the moment. And it starts with self-awareness. You don't know what you don't know, and I love that saying. Until you start to read books and have a look in the mirror on the things that you do, or the things that you say and how they affect the people around you. Does it empower your team? Does it make them feel less adequate? Or does it bring them up? Does it make them feel like they want to push and succeed in the business? Does it make people feel a part of something? And I think that self-awareness does come from reading and knowing the things and kind of looking at the aspects of yourself where you need to develop. So I vowed to read 2 books every single month. Behind track this month, but I know by the end of this month, midnight, I would have read 2 books. I'm committed to that. And that's where I saw my personal development absolutely rocket. I can say I'm a completely different person now than I was 3.5 years ago. So we all come on and have our training slots and say, read books, but honestly, I can't give you any bigger tip than that. Go away, read books, study, and develop you. Because that's when you'll see that you'll attract better people into your business. You'll help and mentor other people better as well. And your return on investment for your time will become better. So secondly, make a realistic business plan. Your 7-day plans, if you're going to put too much in there and it's not realistic for your lifestyle, it's not going to happen, then you're going to be inconsistent. And that's not going to grow a business. You need to be consistent. So a business plan for me, my strategy will be picking 3 retail activities and 3 recruiting activities. And I want you to do that for at least a 3-month period, because you'll find with your strengths, and everybody's businesses are different, you prefer different activities than others. And you want to find the things that work for you, what fit in with your lifestyle, and the things that you want to do because you want to enjoy this business. If you're not enjoying it, you're doing something wrong. So it's about finding things that you want to work with. And if you have 3 of each, so 3 retail, it could be pups, it could be launches, it could be doing stalls. It stops your new starters being overwhelmed as well. What it also does for people who maybe not a new starter, it keeps your focus on activities and being good at them. Rather than just being average at a lot, you're mastering just a few. So you're recruiting activities, using your who to know list, speaking to people out and about, networking, going to networking groups, going to different hobbies. If you like horse riding or swimming, getting out and meeting new people. You might be leafleting, but pick 3. And then once you've got 3 of each, I want you to put them into your diary. First of all, I want you to prioritise that list. So out of those 6 activities, what comes first? What is going to give you the most return on income? Time block. You saw a picture on Caroline's slides before of the coloured diary. So time block the times that you have in your week that you can dedicate focused work towards forever. And then put those activities in order. Also add a space in there to do the odd little bits of job-ins as well, so your admin and things that aren't earning you an income, but things that need to be done. You need to put those in there as well. And then team time, 80 to 20. 80% on your personal, so the things that you're personally working on in your personal business, 80% of your diary needs to cover that. 20% then needs to go into mentoring your team. And what I find that happens, someone said that seems quite low, 20%, but I know when I sit down with that person, I'm going to give them as much, because I've done my self-development, I'm going to give them as much kind of development as I can, coaching as I can at a good level. But it also stops you spoon-feeding them as well, because this business is all about creating independent business owners. So if I'm spending 80% of my time with my team and not developing my own, they're just leaning on me and they'll never become independent. So having the 80-20 principle will help you decide where your time is more valued. So be really, really good at the basics. You've heard lots of times this weekend, keep it simple. This business is simple, and I think we overthink it. Sometimes that may be because self-doubt kicks in, and that's when we start to overthink things. We'll just bring it back down to these skills that we need. So we're going to go through a few skills. There's loads that you can work on. These are just some I picked. I think when you first start out, you need to make sure you've got these good and proper before you move on to the next ones. So the top one there is product knowledge. And I want you to mark yourself 1 out of 10 for each of these as we go around. So 10 being that you're really, really good and you feel quite a good skill level for those, and 1 being quite poor, something you need to work on. So product knowledge then, have you been on company trainings? Have you YouTubed? There's so much stuff on YouTube. I can sit there for weeks and weeks. Rather than being on Netflix, be on YouTube. You'll learn so much more and you'll grow your business. Where do you feel you're at? Have you tried enough products so that you truly fell in love with the product and the brand, so that it comes across to customers as genuine? You have that integrity behind it. So next is the ability to network and grow your who do you know list. That is the fundamentals of this business, right? We're all sat here today not to make just an income now, but to make an income in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. So what that means is we need to know how to network, because in 3, 5 or 10 years' time, we still need people to tell about the opportunity. The people you know at the minute, that list is going to run out very, very quickly. And if you've got that long-term vision, that is a skill you need to pick up on. So the next skill is contacting people. How good are you at contacting people? Mark yourself 1 out of 10. Do you pick up the phone? Do you know what to say? If you send an email, if you do it face-to-face, do you know how to get someone's hot button? Do you know how to get their objective out of them? Because believe me, they won't just give it you. They don't just go, hey, here's everything you need to know. You have to have that skill of bringing it out of them, helping them to trust you. Because a lot of these people, as we go through our business, they may be new, maybe don't have that trust with you straight away. So it's developing that skill to bring that out of them. So next is dealing with objections. Objections are a good thing. I promise you now, they're a good thing. Don't get scared when someone questions or comes back with an objection. Just know how to answer it, because what that'll do, if you know appropriately how to answer those questions, it may open up their eyes to the opportunity. And rather than that person being, no, it's not for them, they might look at the information and become a new person within your business who you can help. Goal setting then, how good are you at creating your own goals, becoming connected to those goals? And do you feel like your team are connected to their goals? Do you help them vision at where they could be in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years' time from now? Again, it's a skill. Work on it. Mark yourself 1 to 10. Time management. This is key. How many people at the minute feel super busy? They've got work going on, they've got kids flying around the house, activities here and there. Yeah, most of us are pretty busy. So time management is key. You have to get this down to a T, because that'll make your life so much easier. When you time block in your diary, that you've got an hour here or an hour there to work on your forever business, then use that time effectively. If you've got an hour to do your housework, don't go over into an hour and a half, because then you're going to be out of sync all day, and you might find that the activities you wanted to do didn't get done. And you might think, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. But the compound effect, that will catch up on you. Everything you do tomorrow and put off to the next day will catch up and be a negative effect in your business rather than a positive one. So anything you set out to do, have that discipline within that time. So next is one-to-one business presentation. How does everybody feel with that? Do you have a section of time where you get to know that person? Again, do you know how to bring out people's hot button and objective and why it can be for them? Do you then work through that one-to-one presentation, connecting the dots all the way through? Making it sense in their mind on what's in it for them. At the end, you know how to do a brilliant close. That is one of the hardest parts, doing a really good close to a presentation. So setting up a new starter. We've done the hard work, we've found somebody who we can help now, but do you know how to give them the best start? And I didn't want to have any regrets and think, you know what, I could have done better for that person. So do you know how much information to give them? You need to work at their pace to start off with. You don't want to overwhelm people. There is so much information that we need to learn. But are you just kind of piling it all on them? Because they're just going to run off scared. You have to work at their pace. Planning your business. So planning your business through case credits and monetary values. If you want manager, do you know how? Or are you just saying you want manager? Because if you are just saying it, it's not going to happen. Case credits don't just come from nowhere. You need to know where they're going to come from. and make a plan. Because otherwise, you're going to go through your business missing goals and targets that you set for yourself time and time again if you haven't got that structure in that plan. So do you know how to plan those case credits, and do you know how to help your team plan for their promotions? It's all about developing supervisors and promotions underneath you as well. And product launch. Lastly, but not least, product launches are fantastic to build our business, but again, the hardest part is getting people to commit to a day and coming round and enjoying themselves. Do you know how to make people feel really comfortable? Do you know how to work the room at the end and bring in the business opportunities as well as the products? Do you know how to upsell? Make sure you've got the best customer service to make sure you get the most out of each customer and give the best value to that customer as well. So hopefully now you've marked yourself 1 to 10 out of all of these. And it's going back to that self-development. Where is it you want to work? What area do you want to work on first? Again, don't try and do everything at once. Maybe just pick one that you want to work on. For me, when I started, the personal development route, some people may say I was a little bit stubborn in the beginning. I knew my own mind. I thought I could do it. It's fine, leave me to get on. But sometimes you do have to put that ego to one side and maybe go to your mentors. What can I work on? This is how I do this. Will you come and watch me do a one-to-one? Can I have some feedback for you? And sometimes I think we feel silly asking for that help and asking for that support, but it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. What that means is that you're going to go from just being an average business owner to an absolutely insane one by getting that feedback and growing as a person in each area. Because your team needs to learn from you, so you need to make sure the best you can be. So fourthly, I want you to concentrate on only what you can control. That is your personal case credits. You can't control what your team are doing. You can help them along the way and guide them, but you can't control what's happening there. And I think sometimes we become a little bit too emotionally attached to what our team's doing. Obviously, we want our business to grow, but you can't become attached to the emotions with how many people maybe haven't got team members here today and you feel a little bit disappointed by that. Or you go to business presentations and they don't come. And they say they really want this business to work, but they don't go to any trainings. That can affect our mindset. We feel a little bit disappointed. But being emotionally connected is a good thing, because that means you're passionate about helping other people. But on the flip side, it can be detrimental as well. It can mess with our mindset. Maybe be a little bit frustrated because you know they've got so much potential, but they're not using it. So just be a little bit more mindful that I always tell my team, if you run, I run. If you walk, I walk. I'll be there to guide you as much as possible, but I can't do it for you. So don't become too emotionally attached to what your team's doing, because you can't control that. And lastly but not least is team spirit. I can honestly say my business, I feel we've got the best team spirit up there in the corner. And I built my business on team spirit. It's about building a community where people feel a part of. Building something where people feel safe and appreciated and empowered to grow and learn and develop. This business doesn't happen overnight, and if you have that bond with your team, they will feel safe in that environment. Yes, they might not be going as fast as they want, but they'll feel safe to be there and not feel silly. They'll feel safe to be there and carry on learning until they do get to where they want to go. One of the ways to build team spirit is home-based rolling trainings. You've got a settee the size of me, you can do it at home like that, or it might be around your kitchen table. But this, for me, gives an environment where people do feel comfortable. They can ask questions, because nothing beats getting face-to-face training. Behind a screen, yeah, it's fantastic, you can do it in your own time, but if you have a question, you might have forgot it next time you see your mentor. So being around your team and building those friendships. But what happens here, all the ladies on that sofa, I could leave them to it. Last night, they all went out for a meal without me. That means I'm creating an independent team. I could pull me out of the situation, they'd still be successful, because they know each other, they've got that bond between each other, and they feel safe. Also, getting to know your team on a level outside of business time as well. And that, again, is building a better bond. Your retention will be so much more within your team. But you can see there down at the bottom, we've got our partners involved, we've got our team's families there, because this journey is not just about the business owner, their family's going on this journey with them as well. If you don't include them and leave them on the sideline, maybe they'll be a little bit negative about the business. But if you include them, make them feel a part of it, you'll see them blossom. You'll see all the goals and visions become something that's part of the family, not just that person. So you can see some of the team there. But what it is for me is building those friendships, and I can honestly say I've got more friends in Forever Now who I truly believe look out for my best interests than I ever have before. But in this company, I believe if the company rises, we all rise together. So team spirit isn't about your own individual teams, it's about coming together and having a bit of unity. I know for a fact, if somebody's up here for promotion, it's not in our team, they will still be at the front cheering them on. They'll still have the flags cheering people on and having that support for them, regardless of whether it's our team. And I think if we share a little bit more love between our teams and come together as a company, I think this company will go from great to even greater. There's no elevators to success. I want you to ask yourself one question. How hard are you now willing to work to make your dream lifestyle come true? Because it's all about work ethic. So ask yourself that question. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. I'm Fenton and I am Forever.